Today, I'm going to talk about the 8 signs you're secretly a lazy person. Hit the subscribe button and leave a comment on the video. Thank you. Most people would say that they aren't lazy, unless you're talking about a well-earned lazy Sunday, in which case we like to think we earned it. Most of us, on the other hand, keep bad habits that are really laziness dressed up as good habits. This isn't all our fault, it's really not. Over the last few years, we've become very used to being on social media all the time, being very connected all the time, even when we're on vacation, and having a lot of things given to us. Is that true? I mean, we can say that progress is to blame. Our modern society has a lot of good things going for it, too. Is it always bad to be lazy about some things? No, not always. Besides, it's not the best idea. People who are lazy do these 8 things. Don't worry if you don't think these things are lazy. Everyone else thinks the same way. But you could be a lazy person in disguise, so keep an eye on these 8 habits. 8. You order food when you could walk. With the use of an app, you can now order almost anything you want these days. However, this does not imply that you should. The first advantage of walking is that you don't have to pay for delivery if you choose to do so. Additionally, walking is a great way to get some exercise. Walking may be the only form of exercise you receive on certain days. People who aren't lazy should go grocery shopping and stock their refrigerators with food for the week rather than ordering takeaway every night at the last minute. Additionally, it will save you a significant amount of money and calories. They have no place in your food supply. Being in control of what goes into your food is an excellent place to start. Not only that, but there's also the issue of portion control to consider. 7. You hang out with people you hate. If you spend a lot of time with people you don't like, you might be being lazy about your social life and not going out enough. To keep them in your life just because they are there doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life. This is true whether they are friends, acquaintances, or people with whom you have romantic relationships. A lot of people don't want to spend time with people who aren't very interesting. First, you're not trying to find people you like, which is something you could do, but you're not. Besides, if you can't spend time alone with yourself, it might be because you're too busy to do it. So, if you find yourself freaking out when you are alone, that means you need to be alone more often. This is when we do our deep thinking, heal ourselves, change ourselves, and grow. 6. You watch TV shows you hate. People who sit on the couch all the time and watch a lot of TV can be lazy. But if you're watching something that you don't even like, this is a waste of time, or worse, if you totally hate this stuff but keep watching anyway. TV can be a great way to relax, but if you're not even interested in what you're watching, it might be better to do something else. Catching up on the phone or reading. Doing the chores that you don't have time to do during the week, or making your own empire. Does it make you happy to think about how much time you spent sitting in front of a TV and doing nothing? To the extent that it's going on, you might not want to do it. 5. You can't help others. No one wants to be at the beck and call of someone else all of the time, especially if that person is unappreciative of our efforts when we do things for them. Although your initial reaction to any request from another person may be no way, it is possible that your idleness is the root cause of your initial negative reaction. The fact that you are unable to do things for other people indicates that you are probably quite self-absorbed. But at the same time, you are not giving yourself enough credit for your ability to manage several responsibilities and be generous on occasion. One of the reasons you might not feel like you have the time or resources to be on anyone else's schedule is that you are not making good use of your own time, either because you are being unproductive or because you are being unproductive because you are being lazy. Although time continues to tick by even when we are not doing anything with it, it also tends to extend as we attempt to cram more into our limited time frame. 4. You wait too long to try something. You've been intending to start practicing yoga, or to volunteer for a cause, or to pursue some other hobby that is a little outside of your normal routine. But you haven't yet. You could be surprised to discover that you have been pretending to be interested in something for an abnormally long period when you finally sit down and think about it. If you haven't taken the plunge and tried it yet, you are probably suffering from a case of laziness. Sometimes this originates from apprehension about trying anything new since you are unsure of what will happen, and you would have to relinquish some control to find out for sure what would happen. You know, rationally, that whatever happens is not going to be dangerous, but there is always the risk that expanding your mind will alter your personality. Being emotionally engaged, rather than being passive, is required while you are going through a period of change and growth. 3. You're haunted by unpaid bills. The ability to forget to open your mail or make the payments that you have to pay your bills, is extremely common during the day. You have a great deal of freedom during the day. When it gets dark, you wake up sweating because you realize that your unpaid parking fines are almost certainly going to double in value because they were issued so late. However, in the morning, you get up and move on to other things, rather than actually doing something about the situation. This is the epitome of laziness at its finest. You can be so avoidant that you can fool yourself into believing that you don't have to deal with crucial things that you do have to deal with. Your life may appear to be in order, but if you can't handle paying your bills on time without putting yourself at risk of having an anxiety attack first, you're dealing with some form of laziness that needs to be addressed immediately because it's causing you to fall behind in other areas of your life. 2. You have 76 reasons to skip the gym. If you're like most people, you know that working out or going to the gym is beneficial in several ways. You might even have some specific objectives that revolve around remaining fit and feeling good in your body. Despite this, you may still come up with some of the most ridiculous justifications for skipping the gym. One of the most common excuses is that you're weary, but in reality, this simply implies that you're being lazy. You're not normally as exhausted as you believe you are because so much of your fatigue is mental or related to the foods you're putting into your body. In general, when you begin to physically move your body, it will not only become more alert and ready to work out, but it will also begin to improve your overall energy levels. Another reason is a lack of time, despite the fact that any amount of exercise is beneficial and you have plenty of time to scroll through Instagram. Consider checking your social media accounts while in the plank position. 1. You know you're holding yourself back. If you have even the slightest suspicion that you are not living up to your potential, it is imperative that you begin to pay attention to yourself on a more regular basis. When it comes to your life and your future, you're being incredibly slack and careless. We can't all be our most great selves all of the time, but in the grand scheme of things, we should be moving in the right way. And if we aren't, something needs to be done to remedy that. It might be anything from employment to relationships to habits to pretty much anything else. If there is something that is limiting your potential to grow and thrive, you should consider whether there are any other options available. The fact of the matter is that making changes, especially positive ones, can be extremely difficult at times. However, the fact that you aren't doing it indicates that you are being unproductive in your life, and you should consider why you are acting in this manner, or not doing anything, as the case may be. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. Also, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, check my other videos on the channel. Thank you for watching.